I could block entirely. The words just would not come out. Absolute, utter silence. My throat locked up. My brain froze. The inconsistency tormented me. How can I become the kind of doctor, the kind of leader I want to be if I can't trust my own speech? Gradually, something remarkable began to happen. My name is Bhav, and I'm a medical student at Stanford and a graduate of MIT, where I studied neuroscience. But what I want to share with you today isn't about degrees or institutions. It's about a journey that I've been on with my speech. Ever since I can remember, I've had a fairly severe stutter, but not a constant one. Mine was always unpredictable. I could speak fluently at home, win public speaking competitions, and even deliver my high school graduation speech. Yet, when it came to everyday moments, like answering a question in class or jumping into a group conversation, I could block entirely. The words just would not come out. As a child, this was confusing and painful. I remember sitting in school in my classrooms, rehearsing a sentence in my head over and over again. And then when it was my turn, absolute, utter silence. My throat locked up, my brain froze. The teacher waited, the entire class stared. I felt embarrassed, angry at myself, and powerless. Yet deep down, I knew that I could speak, and that belief to this day has never gone away. It showed up in those public speaking events I kept entering and kept on winning. It showed up when I gave that graduation speech in front of 5,000 people. There was always a voice inside myself that said, "You are an excellent speaker." But the inconsistency tormented me. In high pressure moments, I couldn't rely on my voice. And that fear followed me into adulthood, especially in medicine, where communication isn't optional, it's life-saving. So I started to wonder, how can I become the kind of doctor, indeed, the kind of leader I want to be, if I can't trust my own speech? And that's when everything changed. In June of 2024, I met the brilliant Lee Lovett and the team at WSSA, the World Stop Stuttering Academy. And for the first time, I learned that stuttering wasn't necessarily something that I had to live my entire life, that it wasn't some mysterious flaw I just have to manage. No, it was something that I could beat, reverse, and overcome. WSSA gave me tools, practical tools like speech crutches, speech plans, and mind training techniques. And I began to effort, uh, began extremely intentionally practicing them every single day. I joined crutch practice meetings and SAM meetings where I met people just like me as well as people who used to stutter but no longer did. And then gradually, something remarkable began to happen. I began to experience real fluency, consistent fluency, fluency under pressure. And for the first time, I felt like I had complete control over my speech. As someone who spent years studying neuroscience, all of this made logical sense to me. I spent years learning about neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change itself through experience, repetition, and conscious intention. And what WSSA and Lee teach is built entirely on that principle. Lee's methods just work because they retrain the mind. They help you build new speech habits while breaking down the fear-based loops that reinforce stuttering. It's plain and simple logic and science, and I see all of this logic in every step. In fact, part of what gave me so much conviction to trust the process was how aligned it was with everything I learned about the brain and the mind. Stuttering isn't just a speaking or a mechanical issue, it's a neural and a mind-based issue. And like any brain-based pattern, it can be rewired and changed. But let me be completely honest. I'm not fully free yet. The fear is occasionally still there. Not all the time, but in certain moments. That old tension, that anticipation of blocking, from time to time, it still surfaces. What's changed is that now I have the tools to get through those moments. And I know that this fear I'm currently experiencing isn't a permanent wall. It's just the next layer to work through. So this is the stage I'm in. I've reversed the underlying stutter, and now I'm working on beating the fear that came with it. Not by avoiding it, but by facing it head on, by stepping into it again and again, exposure by exposure and talk by talk. That's how I will build lasting comfort. And here's why that matters so deeply to me. I want to become a future leader in medicine. I plan to train in neurosurgery, one of the most demanding specialties there is, not just technically, but also in terms of communication, collaboration, and leadership. I don't just want to be in the operating room. I want to build health systems globally. I want to speak on stages, lead initiatives, give talks that move people, and one day appear on the news, not just for stuttering, but for shaping the future of health care. And that is the life I'm working towards, one of service, of impact, and of voice. And now, for the first time, I finally believe it's possible. Thanks to WSSA, I've discovered a roadmap, not just to fluent speech, but to fearless, dynamic, and effective speech, to expressive, powerful, and spontaneous speech, the kind of speech that moves people and inspires change. And I know I'm getting there fast. The more I practice, like I am now, the more I expose myself to fear, the more natural this all becomes. And one day, I'll speak in front of global audiences the way I would speak with my own family or my own friends. And when I do, I will fondly remember this entire journey and be proud of every single step. So if you stutter or have difficulties with your speech, I want to leave you with this. You're not damaged. You're not broken. Your best voice is still inside you. You can overcome this, and you don't need to do it on your own. Join WSSA, learn the tools, find your community, and keep going. Thank you, Coach Lee, and thank you to every person at WSSA. You've changed my life, and to everyone listening, thank you for hearing me and believing in what is truly possible.